The middle class, as the name suggests, is in the middle, not as rich as the owners of the capital, but well off. The number of middle class in Indonesia is always increasing. More than 50 years ago, Indonesia was one of the poorest countries in the world. With an average annual growth of 5.6%, Indonesia has reached middle income status. Now, 1 in 5 Indonesians is middle class and free from worrying about being poor. The middle class played a major role in increasing economic growth in Indonesia. The Indonesian middle class is defined as people whose monthly expenses are IDR 1.2 million to 6 million. The World Bank says that the middle class in Indonesia is at least 52 million people, or in 1 in 5 Indonesians. This number is rapidly growing at 10% per year. Although this figure is not as fast as other Asian countries such as Thailand, China, or Mongolia, and so on. And we can get to know the middle class is not same as low class. So from here it means that the middle class still can manage the money and pay their child education or school well. Parents are used to complete the equipment of their child. They have to fulfill their child need. They have to complete their child need such as school and so on. In the basic, if a child dreams being or have a good life, everybody knows that can be caught by studying hard. That dreams. In Indonesia, formal education must be taken by everyone so that they have the provisions to be able to maintain their lives and fulfill their primary needs. Because the need for education is a primary need for humans that must be met. By taking formal education, and children will have the ability to think scientifically and solve problems in their lives compared to children who do not receive formal education. Because, in a sense, humans study science in formal education institutions is because of uh, because they later they can solve all problems in life. Therefore, we as humans who live in developing countries must take formal education. The country needs human researchers who have a lot of knowledge and have competence in certain fields. So the Indonesian state has humans who can survive with all global problems. The millennial generation is a generation born in the early 1980, 1980 to 20, or that they are called as Dan Ye. Called the millennial generation because the generation that lives at the turn of the millennium. In the current millennial era, there is a tendency in the world of education, including the development of distinct learning models, the ease of conducting open education, joint sharing between educational institutions, libraries, and other educational instruments. In education in the millennial generation, this is followed by the development of educational technology. So, as our second motion today, as a middle class parents, this house would support their child choice to the prioritize formal education in favor of pursuing digital creative skills or career, content creation, audiovisual design, and etc. We disagree with this motion. One, can barrier like content creation survive with all global problems that happens in this world? First, basically, talking about education and career, the two are intertwined. As I said about where we can see that if your education supports it, your career will include education not only looking for a brilliant career, but also education how to teach us to become better human beings and have characters and virtuous character. Character in education, you will be taught and have a skill and expertise that you use to support your education. With education, you can change everything and everything because with education, you have the ability. Human researches, this is what you will use when looking for a job. Just imagine when you don't have an education, who will put you to work and at a higher level to support your career. With education, you can develop the potential of your nation and country because to face the world of competition with Western countries, you must have knowledge. In addition to your education can change the wrong perceptions that you have believed so far. Therefore, with education, you get a definite truth. Second, the word careers comes from the Dutch language career, namely the development of persons progress at a certain level, therefore by supporting a career that need for planning. So that education is how we can plan something, the need for knowledge, and to achieve this knowledge is none other than being educated. As what the proposition team say before about part-time job may give some benefits, that's correct, that's true, like help our parents in financial, that's so good. But now if your purpose is to really want to get the relief in financial, Indonesia's government serves as KIP. There is no protection for workers. Part-time workers generally don't have good protection against a fraud, especially payroll issues. Second, do the child who don't prefer to formal education know that a formal education can guarantee us more later or in the future. Education is very important because it plays a very important role in one's career success. Education is very important because it plays a very important role in one's career success. Through the education process, a person will get knowledge that can support his future career success. Second, so many artists in Indonesia after they prefer to choose their career than school, right now they are not as familiar as the first time. Education can guide the students to achieve safety and happiness in life as a complete human being in society. These opportunities will then be a way to become independent and create a more decent quality of life. Second, actually, career and education are related to the end and each other, which career also determines our job ladder. The higher a person's level of education, the greater of opportunity to get a job in Indonesia. Because if someone is uneducated, then they cannot have a proper job, a vice versa. And if people don't have a job, how can he send his children to school? So the relationship between education and work is very close. Third, how easy to be content creators? First, more famous someone, they can get some bad opinion from public. That's risky actually. And second, losing freedom. So therefore, as human living in developing countries, we must take formal education that the countries need human resources who have a lot of knowledge and have competence in certain fields. So the Indonesian state has humans who can survive with all global problems.